Okay, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Our guest right now, and if you, I'm convinced that rural America can bring this election in. Now, obviously, we know the challenges in the Philadelphia and the Detroit and Cleveland and so on, and Milwaukee. We know the challenges in Chicago, but I think rural America is going to step up, and I know they have to come out in big numbers and vote, but I think they're going to step up and they're going to make the difference in this election. So I'm going to continue with my series this morning. I have my guest is Larry Harp. Larry's from Antrim County, Michigan. Antrim County, Michigan has a population of 23,370. And it's about an hour. He's about an hour from the bridge over the peninsula. And it's not quite snowmobile weather up there yet, but getting close. Good morning, Larry. Glad to have you. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Larry, you said it's about a month away from snowmobile weather, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, how cold is it this morning up there in Antrim County, Michigan?
33 degrees right now.
Well, I can't. I'm glad, Larry. I'm glad you're there, and I'm here, and I wish you well. Larry, what we're talking about is what is the mood of some of the people you talk to? What do you think as far as the citizens in Michigan in this election? Give me just a little idea of what you think is going on, especially in your area of the country.
Well, my area of this country has always been solid Republican. In this county here, when I drive around, and I do quite a bit of traveling around, I see not one Hillary Clinton sign. There are Trump signs everywhere, and they're even on the marquees in front of some of the restaurants and or motels. There's no discussion in the morning about who they're going to vote for or what's happening, because we all know who we're voting for, and we're just hoping for the best, and we want Trump to get in and not crooked Hillary.
Okay, well, it sounds like you have thoroughly made your decision, but when you say we want Trump to get in, do you see, though, when you say people are not talking who they're voting for because everybody wants Trump, it can't be everybody, but you're saying you don't even just see any Clinton signs out there. You don't find people saying they're excited about voting for Hillary Clinton. It's just not seeing it anywhere.
That's correct. I have not seen one sign in this whole county, and I've been traveling around quite extensively with what I've been involved with, and it's amazing to me. Either they're afraid to put their sign up. I'm not saying there isn't any Democrats in the area, but it's a solid Republican area for all of the local offices and our state representatives and everything else. So it's a Republican stronghold, and maybe they're intimidated. I don't know. But there isn't any signs.
Well, I know we're talking about Antrim County, Michigan. I spoke to some people in Lake County, Michigan the other day, and what is your thought across the state now? Obviously, in Lake County, Michigan, when I called the lady the other day, she didn't even say Detroit was in Michigan. She said it wasn't in Michigan. What is your thought across the state? I mean, what is your actual feel in Michigan? Because Donald Trump is making 2 stops there today. I mean, he's going to be in Warren, Michigan, and I think it's very interesting, Larry. He's going to be at the he's going to be right there at the home of Henry Ford. Which one is where? Grand Rapids. He's going to Grand.
That was the president, Gerald Ford.
Gerald Ford. I apologize. Gerald Ford. Right, Gerald Ford.
Yes.
And
that area there is an area that could possibly go either way. It is what do you call it? Hinged on what's happening. It isn't totally Republican or isn't totally Democratic. But he's going to Warren. He's he's right next door to Detroit. He's right out the back door of Detroit is Warren. So that'll be interesting if he can garner any support in that area.
So Grand Rapids is a run right into a toss-up area for Michigan. So he's going right into a toss-up area in Grand Rapids.
Correct.
And Warren, Michigan is a suburb outside of Detroit. So he will get major media coverage on the news because Grand Rapids, what, is the second largest city in the state?
I believe it is now.
Okay, so he's going right in where he has to break that little bit up to make the rural county vote strong enough to bring him over the top. So what's your feel in all of Michigan? I mean, what is just your general feel? I know you're in a Republican county, but what's your general feel in the state of Michigan, Larry?
Well, if the turnout is big enough in the rural area, we have a possibility because the UAW and with the auto workers and everything are not committed to vote the way the UAW and or the union wants them to vote. We have more people voting their rights instead of the union rights.
So you think although the unions in those areas are endorsing Hillary, the actual union members are not following lockstep?
Correct.
Okay. I felt that. I felt the unions were endorsing her, but I felt she wasn't winning with the actual union. I think you're going to have a lot of union Democrats that are just not going to vote for her.
Correct. The only two members that I'm proud to say I have committed them to say they will not vote for Hillary, they are not voting. They have been lifelong Democrats, friends of mine since I've moved here over 20 years, and they are not voting for Hillary.
So they're lifelong Democrats, because I think this is important. So you have two friends that are lifelong Democrats that instead of going out and voting for Trump, they're just not going to go out and vote because they won't vote for Hillary.
Well, they're Democrats that are not voting for Hillary, and to me, that's saying a lot, because a year ago, it was a joke when it was against Hillary was against Trump. They just were laughing how bad things were going to get. Now that we know the exposure and how Hillary really is, they can't vote for her. They'll never vote Republican. But by not voting Democratic, I figure I've gained at least 2 less Democratic votes.
Larry, to me, this is big, and this is what the media will not tell us. So what you say is you've got two very strong union Democrats that will never vote for Trump, will never vote Republican, but before they'll vote for Hillary, they'll just stay home, and you know these two guys.
Yes, sir. That's a correct statement.
I think the stay home, I think Hillary's group that are going to stay home, they just can't bring themselves to vote for them. Okay, so Antrim County, Michigan is predominantly Republican. What do you hear more excitement? Because I mean, you know, now Romney's dad was he was governor of Michigan. Mitt Romney's dad was governor of Michigan. Romney kindly had a favorite son status. But this election, do you find people more excited, the Republican side of the ticket in this rural county? Do you look for a big turnout in this county?
I look for a big turnout, and I know from the membership, I'm a member of the Moose Lodge. The people that we call them snowbirds. They go from Michigan to Florida. Their permanent residence is Michigan. They have all absentee ballot voted, and they've all voted Republican and proud to say so. Wear a button that says, I've voted and I voted for Trump.
Okay, so rural counties like yours, well, yours in particular, you feel a strong excitement for getting out to vote, and you know that you got Democrats in the county because you just mentioned two gentlemen here, and you're just not feeling there's any excitement on that side of the ticket in your county, and you're also feeling you've got Democrats that are going to stay home, and you also feel maybe you've got some union people that are not going to lockstep with the union and actually vote for Trump. Is all that above true?
Yes, sir. That's the feeling that's in my county.
All right. Well, I appreciate that very much. Now, when are you gonna get the snowmobile out, Larry? Huh?
Mine will be ready to go when the season opens. Is December the 1st, and of course that's snow permitting. But we're supposed to have a very good season this year.
Well, let me ask you.
Which means about 15 to 20 feet of snow for the year.
Are you planning any long snowmobile trips? Because you have in the past. I know you've done some in the past. You told me.
This year, probably not so. Being as I'm in my mid-70s now, I probably will limit myself to about 3,000 miles on my sled. I usually sled every day.
Well, Larry,
snow permitting.
Larry, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, and you have answered some pretty big things that I know the national media won't. And I tell you what, I have told everybody out there, Larry, I feel there's a strong segment of the Democrats that won't go vote. There's no enthusiasm, and I believe that will happen.
I thoroughly believe it. And when I convinced these two fellas that I've known for so long, actually I didn't convince them. They confided in me that after what they've been learning through and I'm sure the latest results, I haven't seen them in a week, that they're even more so happy that they're not supporting her.
So with Trump going at this time to these two major media areas in Michigan, you guys will get those on the TV there. You'll get it in your markets, but you feel you got a gut feeling that Trump has a chance in the state of Michigan?
I really do. I'm certainly hoping so. I'm doing my part to get out to vote for Trump. No problem.
Larry, I appreciate you very much. Thank you for taking this time. It's been a big help, and we hope to see you down in Georgia real soon. But until then, I hope the snowmobile and you're able to get out and put the time in that you want to enjoy this winter and the snow. I don't mind a little cold, Larry, but I'm not ready for 33 degrees right now.
All right, sir.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Thank you. Okay, that's Larry Harp. Larry is from Antrim County, Michigan. Antrim County, Michigan has a population of 23,370. Yes, it is way outside of Detroit, but there's a couple things you need to hear in that report. Even though it's two people confided in Larry that they had never voted for a Republican. They were union. They were not voting for a Republican, but they weren't going to vote for Hillary. It's going to be bigger than you think, folks. Bigger than you think. I'm your host, BKP. I'm going to take another brief break. We're going to come back, and at 9:30, we're going to get our next caller on the line. See if I can get Jerry on the line. I thought it was interesting out there. Tell me, send me what you think. 706-889-9700. 706-889-9700, or email me, chief@fetchernews.com. And we've got some, tonight is trick or treat, right?
Yeah,
Halloween. And just for that, my show here wants to send you a special Halloween note, okay? Take us a break, Cole.